is I do want to talk about with you and was the Nick Cassidy thing, because we didn't actually get to talk about who could replace him in the last FE bar, and I thought it was kind of, I wanted to bring that because it is a talking point, because someone does have to replace Nick Cassidy. And for me, I don't know who replaces Nick Cassidy at this precise moment, and there's been a lot of talk about Dan Ticktum. For me, I can fully see Dan potentially going to Jaguar, and I'm right. If you think about what Nick said earlier, you could, Porsche could put all, Jaguar could put all their eggs into the Gen 4 basket and go, right, let's make a car for Gen 4. And then you think, okay, so it could be the right place to be. However, with the Porsche deal, and if they get the Porsche powertrain, if Porsche is strong, then Dan Ticktum is in line to get a great seat and have a really good chance. So then maybe he might want to stick. So then who goes to Jaguar?
Yeah, I feel like it's sort of like the right time for Dan, because he's been he's sat in that team, and I mean, no disrespect to that team. That team has they're proper fighters, and they're finally reaping their rewards with a podium in Tokyo, what should have been a podium in Shanghai, and so yeah, it's finally coming good. But the thing is, if Ticktum turns down Jaguar, I'd be shocked, because that's a factory seat going. Yeah. And yeah, sure, Jaguar have struggled, but it's a profit. And I mean, like, no disrespect to Cooper Kiro, but that's a huge team, and a team that has been competitive for the past 6 years. And so I think for anyone to sort of turn that opportunity down, it would be a bit of a stupid move. Yeah, it is $1 million question. Who is going to be sitting in that Jaguar seat next year when it looks like Cassidy's moving on? Obviously, we haven't had official confirmation, but it's looking extremely likely that Cassidy's going to be project. And if Cassidy's looking at Stellantis, then do they do a little swapsy and put Jake Hughes in the seat? Jake has been mega in his time at McLaren. He's had a very up and down year in Maserati. He obviously got, I think it was a 4th place in Shanghai. He was on the podium in Jeddah, and I think he's had another top 5. But those are the only times he's been in the top 10 all year.
Yeah.
And so it's, the thing is, I can't see them going for like a rookie. I can't see them going for a rookie.
Yep.
It's my brutally honest opinion.
I think I can. I think it's the perfect opportunity for them to go for a rookie. I'll tell you why. I think
it's definitely the perfect opportunity, but I'm not sure if Jaguar go for it.
Right.
Hear me out. Right, go for it.
Hear me out. Gen 4's on the horizon, right? Gen 4 is on the horizon. They could try and find a name. I don't know who this name could be. Danny Fiat, for example. He's looking for a driver. I'm not saying it's going to be him, right? But if they think that their car's useless and is not going to be fighting for race wins, then the Gen 3, either that season's the perfect... There's no pressure on you, son. Go out there. Drive. Get used to Formula E. We don't care about your results. As long as you're fairly competitive. Like, don't be like last place. But show us some promise. And then you go, right. You've had that year's development. You're going to go to Gen 4. Yes, it's a step up, but it's a step up for everybody. Not just you. And off you go. You've got a year's experience learning the team, getting to grips with the Formula E way of thinking and how it works. And then, bingo bango, Gen 4, this driver could be ready to start being on a competitive level and winning races. So I think for that reason, it's a perfect chance to put a rookie in.
I think it would make sense. I mean, chat has got to say, John has said announced Da Costa. Sergio Perez has just been mentioned as well, possibility.
Cadillac.
Yeah, it's well, it depends on who Cadillac go for. Yes, Checo's. I won't say he's in the hot seat for Cadillac, but he's he's up for consideration.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a fair few options, and I'm not sure if it's a nice place for Jaguar to find themselves in, because obviously they are losing a driver. But if they've got the options, I know that people have said Taylor Barnard as well. Try and poach him from the Ian James team, which isn't going to be called McLaren. And so yeah, there are plenty of options, and yeah, I could see a rookie go into that seat, but realistically, I'm not sure. That's the thing.
Sure. I don't know. I honestly
don't know.
I honestly don't know who takes this seat, and obviously there's going to be a few driver merry-go-rounds, probably, and that could help us sort of pinpoint who Jaguar could go for, and so forth. But I do think anything could happen with that seat. With Nick Cassidy going, and we don't know what's going around with Taylor Barnard, just to end up on, because he's Formula E's hottest property, right? We're assuming if you're Nissan, if you can't sign him, then that's when we say we put a Sergio Sette Camera in or a Victor Martins potentially. But
it depends on how Sette's going to do. And actually, it's been big day for Formula E news. Yeah. We haven't even mentioned it that Sette has been confirmed that Sergio's going to be in the seat for
which is probably
Berlin, which we all knew. I mean, we've mentioned it 500,000 times on this show, but it was officially announced today, amongst other things.
So that's potentially a trial for next season for Sergio, and obviously Nissan have got a driver in house where they can just promote from within. But Taylor's hot property, right? Sure, if you're Nissan, you want to go into Gen 4 with Taylor and Oliver, like that makes sense. But if you're Jaguar, you've got the uncertainty. Well, not the uncertainty because he's contracted to the Ian James team, but there's still uncertainty. I said you break the bank, right? And you break the bank and you go get Taylor and you go say, right, this is our guy going forward. Yeah, we've got Mitch. Unsure about Mitch and Nissan for whatever reason, which could be, that stopgap driver for next season with maybe a Sette Camera or even Norman Nato if they want to continue with him. Go and get Taylor.
Yeah. I'm just seeing where else everyone's put. Sheldon van der Linde, Rui Andrade. I mean, he hasn't had a test in a Formula E car. Maybe might see him in the rookie test. I think if they are going to go for a rookie, that Jaguar will field them at the rookie test, surely in Berlin. But
which they haven't. Yeah,
Fittipaldi. I'm not sure if that's Pietro or Enzo. Is Enzo still in F2, or has he moved on from F2?
Don't ask me.
Don't
ask me. I don't watch F2 enough.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously Pietro had a couple races in the Haas F1 when Grosjean had his accident a few years ago. But yeah, I mean that could be an option. Dragovic could be an option. I can't see Pourchaire getting it, considering that DS signed him as a development driver a few weeks ago.
But then that doesn't mean much.
I've been told today that Simon Pagenaud is now managing Théo Pourchaire, so that might be Théo's chance to get back into IndyCar. So yeah.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I suppose.
That's the thing. It's a very sort of open-ended
question.
Yeah, it's an open book, and genuinely, you could go around half a dozen people, and they could have completely different answers.
Indeed. Right, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already,
finishing somewhat on time.
Yeah, if you haven't already, !Discord, and get in the Discord, join a real budding, growing Formula E community that we have in there. If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. It's free, right?